Hey there friends, how's it going? My name is Kevin and we're going to learn a little bit about my personality today. We've already done a DNA test in the past that proved I'm 100% Irish, which you gotta start thinking about incest at that level. I'm sorry for making you think about incest in the first few seconds of the video. Incest aside, I'm just like, well, 4 mentions of incest now in the first few seconds. This is going to get demonetized. Anyway, we're on to a personality test to see what really makes me tick. I got 3 different versions of it here, and that's what makes me tick, not what makes me thick. That would be food. Anyway, I found 3 different versions here. This one looked very complicated. And honestly, I can't even see where to take the test. You got like some options here, basics, take the instrument, and then I got this page, which is just a lot of words, which I really don't feel like reading. We got this version, which I am totally down to do. This looks like official, and you regularly make friends. Do you count? Because if so, but otherwise, ooh. And then we got this one, which is just a picture book. I'm thinking we start with the little picture one and then we go more in depth with the other one. I'm not sure if it'll skew the test because I'm extremely angry right now. You don't know how it feels to be Irish and have to pick the Union Jack as my selection. Which of these amazes you most? Well, that one's not doing anything. I'm not really impressed by that. 2 people interacting without being 6 foot apart. That's pretty impressive. I would say either Spaceman or Aurora Borealis. In this part of the test, localized entirely within that picture, I'm going with that. How do you create fun in your life? People have fun. I think it's spontaneous with me. How do you make the most of a morning off? I've never had one. It would probably be either running or like errands. I would go with like the to-do list, I think. If you're meeting a friend at 6 o'clock, when you're more likely to arrive? Probably 6. Which is more likely to be your desk? You see, from this angle, it looks like it's relatively nice in my room, and it is. But this is the blind spot of all the cameras. So everything that I don't need immediately is here at all times. I'm gonna go with this one. How large is your vocabulary? Is there any option to just pick one sheet? No, I don't know what this means. Like how many words I know in total? Because I know a lot of words such as dog and alphabet. I think my vocabulary is decent. Oh, thank God. My life is a soup and I am a fork t-shirt is shipped. Given that popped up and it's like a really deep, I can't think of the word. I'm gonna go with this one. How do you tend to act in social situations? I think crack jokes, tell stories probably. I'm trying to be more like this kid. Look at him in amazement. If you hold up the tin to your ear, they say you can hear the beans. A bean! I think jokes. If life was a play, who would you be? Oh, Jesus. I don't know. That's a really hard question. This will just make me look like a narcissist, but aren't we like the lead in all of our stories? I don't do anything really. I'd probably be in the audience. What are we most likely to find in your mind? I don't know if this is supposed to be artistic, but I'm just taking it as blank. So I think I'm going to take that one. But I think I'm somewhat creative at times. Watch this. Spontaneous joke. Good joke. What would it look like if you wrote a list of your faults? You see, this is hard because I think anyone could do this really, but a lot of my faults, you know, I don't see them as flaws. Like, I don't know, you know, it's just like who I am. But I do have a lot of stuff I want to work on and stuff I've been working on. So I'm going to go with that. I think that I would get a full A4 page. How would you lead? Kevin in video games. Kevin in real life. Which of these makes society work? Do you mean old society or new society? Because this not so much anymore, but in the old society I would say this. How emotionally secure are you? I'm a fortress of solitude. I'm pretty secure in myself. Like I would say castle. I'm pretty thick-skinned. I've been on the internet for 10 years now making videos. I think I'm pretty secure. All right, we got to blast through some of these. How long is this thing? Is this the completion bar? Please don't tell me this is the completion bar. I thought I was doing a picture book. Where are you now? At home. How do you react when someone insults you? What the hell does this mean? I turn into to just close and my bones disappear. Celebrate a personal achievement. Some drinks, sure. How do you react to other people's success? Sure, high five them. What is your style of organization? This for sure. How much energy after meeting new people? A lot. I love meeting new people. I miss it. Please come back. You know, this is actually making me feel good. I'm ticking off stuff that I'm passionate about. I got music, working out, and I can't remember what this was. Oh, this is a tough one. What age are you? Oh, feck. They don't have my level of education. I never finished high school, and I don't have a FDE. I'm going with other education. The last section contains a mix of lifestyle and brand preference. No, you're not using my data. What? I'm not telling you which oh, that skipped a lot of the test. Ooh, interesting. You're the wanderer. That actually feels accurate. Yes, a spontaneous drifter. You're fast to adapt to whenever life takes you. Openness. Your low level of openness suggests that you draw your strength from tradition and familiarity. You are down to earth and prefer clear, straightforward direction to abstract or theoretical thinking. Do I? You like to act immediately on impulse, which can both be effective and fun, but if taken to the extreme, this can produce undesirable long-term consequence for yourself and others. Does it? Maybe I've just gotten lucky and not had those consequences. Your high level of extroversion suggests that you experience positive emotions for social situations and activities, so are likely to seek them out and thrive in them. I would agree. I really feed off that stuff. So yeah, agreeableness. I just agreed to the last one. It's like, you're very agreeable. You know what? I'm glad I picked that one for vocabulary, because what is this? Neuroticism? Is neuroticism. Neuroticism. I'm learning. All right, leave me alone. You are calm, emotionally stable, and are less easily upset than people with high levels of... There it is again. Neuroticism. Outlook. Optimist. Yeah, I think I'm an optimist. I think that's right. Thoughtful. Thoughtful people have a very giving and sympathetic character and are genuinely interested and concerned about others. However, they can sometimes lack the persistence to follow through with their positive intentions. I have found I've done that in the past, and I'm trying to get better at that. I think I'm a lot better at it now. It's like I'd be like, oh... let me know if I can help with anything, but I don't follow through and just show up to help. I wait to be asked, you know? Relaxed. You may be very slow to anger and reluctant to express it when it arises. As a result, you may come across as too placid and seem like a bit of a pushover. I think that's wrong. I can be very stubborn sometimes, especially if I'm not friends with the person and it started to like aggravate me. Easygoing people are very laid back about life and don't really see a need to be overly serious about things. To be fair, yeah, I think that's why I'm so stubborn, because I think it takes a lot to actually push me to the point where I'm very annoyed with someone and then when I do get there, I'm stuck. I'm a sociable giver, apparently. I'm easy to get along with. Yes. I'm spontaneous. See, some of this stuff is wrong. Like, your spontaneity and impulsiveness might mean that it's sometimes all too easy to drop those serious, unglamorous tasks with the promise of a good time. I mean, sometimes, but I wouldn't say it's a trait I'd link to myself. I'm not sure what this attitude traditionally even means. Rely on their values and beliefs to steer them through life's problems. I don't know. I don't really know. You could perhaps benefit from some help organizing, keeping track of your work. Yep, that is right. Practical people are unlikely to be derailed when they come up against difficulties. Rather than focus on any negative emotions that might be thrown up, they prefer to push them aside and focus on concrete action to problem solving that will help them overcome the situation. Yeah, I would think I'm pretty resilient in that thing, but I don't know. I mean, everyone has their buttons that can be pushed and you're just like, you know what? No, I give up on today. So this test has labeled me as the wanderer. I wonder what this one will say. The thing is, as much as I love being sociable, I find it hard to make new friends sometimes. I like meeting new people and whatever, but I find it hard to transition to the friend stage, you know, to actually make a solid friend. So I'm going to say disagree on that one. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too. I'm not much of a crier, honestly. I'm really not. You have to make a backup plan for a backup plan. Yeah, sometimes. At social events, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people, and mostly... that's a tough one, because I like talking to new people, but I don't really go out of my way to introduce myself. So maybe? Yeah. Oh, this is much faster. We're at the 10% mark already. You prefer to completely finish one project before starting another? No. You're very sentimental? Yeah, I would say so. You like organizing tools like schedules and lists? No. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation? I'd say neutral. It depends on the circumstances. You usually prefer just doing what you feel like at any given moment instead of planning out. Yeah, I think so. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. I've often thought about what it would be like to meet yourself You know, from an outside perspective, you just be like, I wonder how I came across there. So I'm going to disagree on that one. Group activities, hell yes, give them back to me, please. I miss them. You like books and movies that make you come up with your own interpretation of the ending. I hate that. Like, tell me how it ends. That's why I'm reading the story. Your happiness comes more from helping others accomplish things than your own accomplishments. I like helping others, but I think I get a lot of satisfaction out of personally driving towards something. So I'm gonna disagree with that kind of heavily. You were interested in so many things that you find it difficult to choose what to try next. I'd agree with that. Today we're doing something a little bit different. You were definitely not an artistic type of person. You see, I would 100% agree with that. But I find my work kind of creative in a way, and I don't think it's traditional creative, but it is kind of creative. So I disagree with it, but I wouldn't do it too heavily because I'm not artistic. This is the sort of thing you'd walk in on a serial killer drawing. You think the world would be a better place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings. Facts don't care about feelings. Yeah, I'm gonna go neutral there. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. Yeah, I do. I strongly agree. You enjoy watching people argue? No, I don't. Why would I do that? To avoid drawing attention to yourself. Well, I'm here making a video about my own personality, so I guess I gotta disagree. Your mood can change very quickly. Yeah, go for it. Oh, I should have picked the other one. Now I'm angry. You lose patience with people who are not as efficient as you. I have found that. Again, one of those flaws on that A4 sheet. I do get impatient. I don't know what happened. At some stage in life, I just became very impatient. I think it was retail. I used to be way more patient than I am now. You've always been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after death. Oh my god, come on. Why are you hitting me with that? Usually prefer to be around others than rather on your own. Heck yes. Screw being around me. Honestly, I feel bad for you and you just have to deal with me for like this 15 minutes. I'm around me all the time. Find it easy to empathize with a person whose experience is very different from your own. I try my best. I think I'd agree with that. I think a few years ago, I would have disagreed with that strongly because I did struggle. And I think being online has helped a lot, especially streaming, weirdly enough, because you're interacting with people in real time and you're like, oh man, I feel bad that this happened to this person or that happened. And you're just like, it makes you think a little bit more outside the box. You enjoy going to art museums? No. I'm just looking at the wall like, I want a pint. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. Again, I would have strongly disagreed, or I would have strongly agreed, but now I think I would disagree with that. You avoid making phone calls. Oh hell yeah, I hate phone calls. They're annoying, and I don't know why. I don't mind taking phone calls, but just like, oh, I gotta phone that person later, and it just puts me off. I don't know why, because if it was online it would be different. Are online people just easier to talk to? You're still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago? No, I don't think so. You rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. Kind of a deep question again. Yeah, I'd agree. I don't think about it that much. You know, I'm a person who asks how is life, not why is life. Your work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. Agree. I cannot agree with that more. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take for them to feel disappointed in you. Well, that's sad. I would actually kind of agree in that in a way. It's kind of weird. I feel like my mind instantly goes to like when I meet people who know me from online and stuff I do. I'm wondering, do they expect something different and then they like meet me and they're like, well, he was lame. That's a tough one. I think I'll go in the middle. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. Yep. Maybe that's why I get impatient with people, because I've worked alone for the past 10 years or so, and then when I got into retail, it gets frustrating. See results. Great. What have I got here? Label me. I'm a debater? Am I? I got no one to debate with. That's kind of sad. I'm 54% extroverted. Yeah, I would have put that a bit higher, but yeah, I think that could be about right. Our mental energy. Intuitive. Okay. This trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. I'm very balanced so far. It looks like a default character in a game someone just didn't bother customizing. No one loves the process of mental sparring more than the debater personality type, as it gives them a chance to exercise their effortless quick wit. Debaters are the ultimate devil's advocate, thriving on the process of shredding arguments and beliefs and letting the ribbons drift in the wind for all to see. They don't always do this because they're trying to achieve some deeper purpose or strategic goal, though. Sometimes it's for the simple reason that it's fun. I can relate to that in a way, but I wouldn't say it's a strong part of my personality. An odd juxtaposition arises with debaters as they are uncompromisingly honest but will argue tirelessly for something they don't actually believe in, stepping into another's shoes to argue truth from another perspective. I do find myself doing that sometimes. Like, I won't agree with a side, but just because someone agrees with me and I'm like, oh, but also this perspective, and it is kind of fun. Debater personalities love to brainstorm and think big, but they will avoid getting caught up doing the grunt work at all costs. It's like, here's how we fix it. I'm not doing it though. You see, this part I disagree with. Like-minded types get along well enough with people with the debater personality, but more sensitive types in society in general are often conflict averse, preferring feelings, comfort, and even white lies over unpleasant truths and hard rationality. I don't think I'd just be like, you are wrong and here's why. Like, I'm happy to debate stuff if people want to, but I'm not gonna like make people feel bad just because I'm like, here's the hard truth. I would say it's about half and half. Like, a lot in there I kind of relate to, but at the same time, I don't know if it's just so generic that anyone would. Debaters you may know. Oh, this is a weird list. Weird Al, Adam Savage, Sarah Silverman, Mark Twain, Celine Dion. This is a very strange... Sacha Baron Cohen. This is such a strange list. Captain Jack Sparrow, the Joker. We live in a society. This is such a weird list. See, I just feel like a narcissist when I'm reading this because it's highlighting all the good things. Maybe I'm getting to weaknesses soon. Knowledgeable. Debaters rarely pass up a good opportunity to learn something new. I mean, that I feel like that's true about me, but at the same time, I left school, so it's kind of, you know, I guess people change, but I like learning new stuff. Quick thinkers. Oh, stop it, you. We need to get to weaknesses so I can deflate my ego a bit. I'm not even going to read this because it would make me feel way too narcissistic. Weaknesses. Finally, something I'm comfortable with. Very argumentative. I don't like arguing with people, to be honest. Like, I'm not afraid to argue, but I don't like it. And again, insensitive. I don't think I am insensitive, and I don't think I'm intolerant. At least I hope I'm not. Can find it difficult to focus. Yes, there we go. Valid weakness. Boredom comes too easily for debaters. Yes. I often think, is there something wrong with me when it comes to my attention? Because I'll just be mid-conversation, and then my mind will just check out sometimes. I don't know what it is. It'll just go off on a tangent. See, there's a lot in here that just doesn't make sense to me. Debater personalities are quick-witted, and their primary means of expressing this is in the form of arguments and discussion. I don't think so. They'll spend an entire evening debating an idea they may not even believe in. No, I don't want that at all. This will be interesting. Career path. If there's anything debaters love, it's flexing their mental muscles. Any environment that lets them devise new approaches, new ideas, and new projects that allows them to push the limits of their creativity will benefit strongly from what the debaters bring to the table. Again, there's elements here. Like, I think I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades in a way, like master of none. I'm not particularly good at anything. I'm okay at a lot of stuff. And I think that helps me in the work I do. At some point in reading through your results, you probably hit a tipping point. You went from a trademark to debater skepticism to wait, what? You may even be a little uncomfortable because you are really not used to being understood, even by the people you're closest to. Honestly, I feel over the past year and a half, maybe year, I've changed a lot in that regard. I feel like I do understand people more. I feel like I understand myself a lot more. This test has been very interesting, I must say. It is very interesting. It's called 16 Personalities if you want to take it yourself. I think there's a lot in there that I agree with, but I'm not sure if it's just so generic that it just fits in places. The other one, by the way, it was called u.visualdna.com if you want to take that. I actually like them both. This one, the visual DNA one, is a lot more digestible, but the other one goes very in depth. I'm just not sure how accurate it is. I don't know if these things can ever be that accurate. Maybe this one can, but good lord, that's a lot of words. But I think we are going to end it there. I hope you found this somewhat insightful and maybe a little bit funny. I don't know, that's up for debate. And I'll be devil's advocate here and say that no, it wasn't funny at all. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you're new, please consider subscribing. Would love to have you around and we can debate stuff for no reason, even if I don't believe in it. Regulars, I appreciate you as always. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye for now.